since I care about the health of my viewers so much.
Why are you trying to sound like Batman?
I
feel like you're trying to do like channel Batman right now. Are you trying to do Batman? Like I'm talking Christian Bale.
No.
Batman.
No.
This is just how you talk.
This is how I do. This is me. I'm executive.
Executive Jackson talks like Batman. Okay.
Hey man, give me my whiskey and my cigar, please. We're doing a deal.
So we have a deal, sir.
We have a deal.
Okay.
Everybody wants to be something they're not and have shit they ain't got. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Just be nice. You don't have to be that guy. Show some respect. Just be a person. Love one
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bam. Let's go.
Badoom.
And we're back with another exciting edition of Brain Snacks.
With Jaxon and Max.
And we are here.
Maximus and Jaximus. Jaximus.
We are here to talk about all kinds of fun stuff today.
Dustin gets it.
And as this podcast and conversation evolves, we are slowly coming to understand that what we really want this podcast to be about, and the message we would like to keep reiterating, show in and show out, is about being a little bit more open-minded.
Absolutely.
Just more about resetting your brain with some snacks.
Wow.
It's all about the branding when you're talking about marketing.
This guy once tried to sell me a used car too, and I rejected it.
Yeah, it was a damn nice car, man.
No, it
was
wasn't. I didn't give a fuck how many times you slapped the roof of that motherfucker.
1994 Chevy Astra with only 146,000 miles.
You know you want it, son.
All synthetic lubrication. I mean, you know how much you like lube.
It was so attractive, but I had to turn down that one, bro.
Yeah, well, you know what? Why don't you think about it? You know, come back and see me tomorrow. Make sure you bring your checkbook.
What you think about this, son? What you think about that?
You got tiny areolas.
Dude, shut up, bro.
Dude, those are...
Well, I didn't come here to get attacked.
You dress like that. You're kind of asking for it.
So the guy at the truck stop
Triggered.
Killed him.
Yeah, really. Lounge lizard.
I sucked his first, but I killed him.
Hey, $20 is 20 bucks. $20 is $20.
You know what? I got a little bit of a...
Somebody's got to keep the electric bill paid for Brain Snacks.
Yep, I'm kind of sick.
Thank you for your sacrifice. I salute you, my friend.
Sacrifice?
My sack of rice. What?
My sacrifice?
Creed was a great band. No, they weren't.
Arms wide open.
I'll always change the word to legs. With legs wide open under the sunlight. Yep.
Naked yoga.
Naked yoga. Well, hey, dude,
What?
I am so... Look, I don't do the naked yoga, but I do yoga religiously 10 minutes a day. And as you know, I just come off a long run of shows. And normally, I am beat to shit after those run of shows. After just a full 3 or 4 shows.
Mm-hmm.
I did 8 shows, 9 days, and I feel great. Yes! Now, like Teeter Hang-Ups guy. I'm 85 years old.
Who?
He does a little
Your
jump.
age is showing.
Teeter Hang-Ups.
Your age is showing.
It's an inversion table for lower back relief.
Okay.
Teeter Hang-Ups.
Those are awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I have one, and it's...
You have one?
Yeah, because I have a jacked up back. Not because I'm old, just because I was born...
You know, I wasn't really sure why I was here, but now I know why I'm here.
Yeah, last 2 vertebrae on my spine are fused. They don't move or flex.
Kinda
Partial lumbarization of like the L7. I don't pay attention to doctors.
Dude, fuck a doctor, man.
Well...
This guy I graduated with, dude, he knows way better than that.
Exactly. I mean, I got my doctorate degree on Facebook, so we're good.
Yeah.
I've done all the research.
Best place to get it, I've heard.
Well, I mean, I have approved several vitamins for emergency use authorization.
Oh God, we're fixing to go here.
And as we're gonna go there.
Oh God.
I would like to for the people.
That actually is
for the
good.
people that missed it.
It's good.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. It's a
No,
good
it's
segue,
good
right?
to go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
segue.
Segue.
Oh man!
Yeah,
Now we got to run a segue so we can have that footage for every time we say segue. Segue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if you edit this out, we need to write down segue in the notes somewhere because we're going to have to ride segues, just screaming segue.
Are there notes? Someone tell me if there's notes.
Well, when they're editing in post.
Notes.
Okay. But the previous 2 episodes we filmed, well, dude, Andrew's right there. What the dude, Andrew, you did
It
great,
was our
man.
fault.
You did. Apologize, Andrew. You did great. You did great. Hey,
I'm not saying it was Andrew's fault. They just sucked.
It's not Andrew's. It's not.
It's
My
my fault.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, yeah, obviously, but still, I wasn't.
Everything's my fault, man.
I'm not here to point fingers, but
You're pointing it right now.
no. Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
A Freudian slip, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Put it down.
I don't know. But the previous 2 episodes we recorded,
Talk about marketing.
we were one producer shy, and now we have the mighty Justin Trey back. Not manning the audio because we have our fancy new setup, but he is also monitoring the cameras, and he will be providing color commentary that you won't be able to hear because he doesn't have a microphone.
I try to get around.
We got a thumbs up again off camera. I'm gonna get a camera on you one day. Yeah, when I get a new camera by you, and that's the reason I'm buying a new camera.
You can check that head all day long.
He's going to
Because not only is he going to get one on you, but I'm going to get one on you too.
Also, a very special, and the very first and a very special
You see me after class.
Brain Snacks birthday shout out to Dustin Trey, who is 21 years
Oh my God.
old and a handful of days.
He stumbled in here today. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He was like, he was drunk off his ass.
He handled his liquor pretty well. I would venture to say that you broke the law several times in your life, drinking before the age of 21.
Oh. Did you work? Drunk?
No.
Okay.
No, he was working on his birthday and didn't even know it was his birthday. That's how hard it worked.
Oh my
This
God.
guy is.
Believe it or not, I never drink at a show at all. Ever.
Till Chrissy brought you one.
Yes, that was the first time actually.
Yeah.
Legal.
So congratulations. Oh well.
Congratulations, you're an alcoholic.
Welcome to the life of being a musician. This is what it's like. You drink on the job. That's what we do.
Yep.
Well, not anymore. I don't. Obviously, I've been sober for
Yeah.
almost it'll be 6 years in September.
Drinking on the job doesn't work so well for me either.
Well, I mean, timekeeper. I imagine.
Right.
I imagine.
I mean, I just wanted a moment of silence for all the alcoholics.
Okay, so
For all the lives that have been destroyed by alcoholism.
yeah. Well, I mean, I came close to destroying.
I say that as a joke, but I mean that for real. Sorry, don't resort to that. Just watch the podcast, man. You don't have to. You can crack open a colon while you watch the podcast.
We can do a series in the future on
drink
substance
between me.
abuse. Again, I have many stories I could tell.
I do too, not from my perspective, but from.
These will be all from my perspective,
Which
and
is
they will
better.
cover most substance, except for crack and heroin.
Come on, man.
No crack and heroin.
I saw you earlier.
I'm not talking about ass crack.
Dude, what's that on the back of the toilet? In the baggie?
Dude, that's
What
really?
we're dealing with here is a
It's
hypocrite.
Comet.
What we're
It's
de-
Comet.
tasted like. I mean, it smelled good.
Explains a lot about you if you're sniffing Comet.
smelled
I'm
good.
just saying.
Was it Ajax or was it Comet?
It's Comet.
Oh,
Dude, I'm old school.
okay, sweet.
So bringing back, fix this table. There we go. Don't touch. Don't.
I was just feeling for the tape marker, dude. What the hell?
The set's fine.
Jesus.
I'm not Jesus.
No, you're Max.
Yes, I am.
Yes, he is.
So one more time, we're Brain Snacks, Jaxon and Max, and
I guess.
America's starting to get their freedom back, slowly but steady.
Mm-hmm.
They keep telling us that if everyone takes the vaccine, that we will ultimately start getting some of our freedom back.
Let's talk about
Maybe
that.
even by July 4th. Just in time for Independence Day, we can actually have our freedom back.
Seems
How-
pretty good. Seems pretty damn good timing to me.
How fucking ignorant is that in the home of the brave land of the free, that we are going to be allowed some of our freedoms back if enough people get the vaccine, and we may be able to congregate in small groups, mind you. And this is from the President of the United States that said this. We could congregate in small groups
Joseph Arbud
to celebrate Independence Day. Now, I'm not such the history buff as to cite specific instances of dates and times. I'm pretty sure the American Revolution was all about fighting against a tyrannical government.
And what do we have here?
And what was it, like a 2 to 5% tax on tea?
Yeah.
Which Americans didn't even drink? How many people died because of that tax? Now, how much are we being taxed today? Average person, anywhere between 25 and 35% of your income goes to federal, state, local taxes, plus purchase tax.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not a call for revolution.
Right.
This is just a wake-up call saying, hey, you guys think that we're free when we currently have a pretty hefty tax rate.
Yeah.
And we also have the largest population of incarcerated individuals on the planet. America wins.
Oh,
we're number one. Woo! How awesome is that?
See that we're full of
Well, you see, here's the problem. We are not full of
No, we're not. We're brain snacks.
Well, we've also, we're BS.
We're full of
We are BS.
We're not full of shit.
Maybe full of something. Full of
We're full of
ourselves.
shit.
I don't know.
But we're not full of shit. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Grandpa.
Why would I want to smoke a pipe?
Are you a grandpa?
I mean, compared to you, kind of.
You see that gray hair?
Is that coming up in 1080? That gray?
Punch in on that.
100%. Thank you for the color commentary. Go back to your hole.
I don't want to know where this hole is at.
The van hole. God. Jeez.
Is it
Get your head out of
is
the
it in the
gutter.
side of the van? Just walk up to it, or
You knock 3 times. Or is it the shaving the haircut?
or is it the? Is that what gets me?
No, you can just open the door.
Oh,
Open door policy, dude.
the back door policy. Anyway.
Whoa. Easy now, fuzzy little man peach.
Okay, but okay, here we are.
Dustin's
we
not-
are
Dustin's
over.
a heterosexual man, by the way. So am I.
No, we're just comfortable with our sexuality enough to make fun
Well,
of
I
ourselves.
wanted to establish that.
Okay. And also, we have no problem with LGBTQ.
No,
community,
hell
as
no.
long as you don't start throwing stones over this way.
Right.
Because, again, fair is fair. You want to make fun of us? Then prepare to get knocked down, too.
Right.
And that's all in good fun. And there's no hate involved in any of the riffraff joking that we're doing.
Yeah, maybe we should cut that.
No, I don't care.
No,
Look,
I mean,
I
don't
have
care.
I'm not making fun of it. Like, I'm a heterosexual male. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me correct this. I'm a heterosexual white male.
Facts.
So, obviously, I'm a racist, homophobic piece of shit, according to the liberal media. The same people that are telling you that a vaccine that will
It's
not
not-
prevent you from catching COVID.
It's not FDA approved.
That will not prevent you from a vaccine that will not prevent you from catching COVID.
They're
Or
telling you it's
keep
a
you
vaccine.
Getting COVID.
They're telling you it's a vaccine.
Now, I don't know how many cases of polio
I just learned that today, by the way.
came up from individuals that got the polio vaccine. Seems to me like polio vaccine may be a little bit more effective at preventing polio
Yeah, I don't know.
Then
I don't know polio.
than the Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson and Johnson coronavirus COVID-19 vaccines. It seems to me that we've been bought. They bought and sold us a giant line of in the entire narrative. And this goes into the marketing category of what we wanted to discuss and talk about. because this is about manipulation of the masses via the media through marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were discussing this before we even started filming today when we were just setting up, and I wish we really would have had that rolling. We would have caught that on tape. That was some pretty solid points, and I think it was because it was off the cuff. It was also
real.
But it was. I think everybody articulated their points very well.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like people to think about, and again, you don't have to believe what we believe. You don't have to have our opinions. I mean, you have to have my opinion, obviously.
I don't.
Damn it. Damn it. But
sorry, I do.
We are hoping that you will actually think about what we have to say and some of the things that you aren't even being told. So, I have several friends and family that have all gotten the vaccine, and again, great for them. I'm not saying don't get the vaccine. I've never said that. I'm saying, and I think Jackson's always also said this, we are not going to get the vaccine.
Absolutely not currently.
Not currently anyway. And some people will poo-poo that and say, well, you just don't want to be safe. You want people to die. I was like, no. Maybe I don't want to die. Maybe I don't know the long-term side effects of it because nobody knows the long-term side effects. Now, if it causes infertility, woo, I'm okay with that because I'm not having kids anyway.
Yeah.
But what about the ladies that may become permanently infertile because the mRNA vaccine has some strange side effects 5 years down the road? And, Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, the vaccines for the COVID-19 virus have been approved by the FDA. For emergency use authorization only. So they haven't actually been approved. So they have emergency use authorization to be used.
Which, if I'm not mistaken,
in the general
what I learned earlier, that it's been, this type of vaccine, quote, has been mRNA vaccines have been attempted to be approved several times over and haven't. Is it just a COVID thing?
I'm not 100%.
Like pre-COVID, I'm curious, how long? I'm sure.
The mRNA vaccines have been in development for years,
but still,
which is why they're citing it. They were able to rapid produce the mRNA virus. Virus. Wow, the mRNA vaccine, which again, coincidentally, is not an actual vaccine. Mm-hmm. If anything, it's a prophylactic, preventative agent. It doesn't actually keep you from catching the virus or spreading the virus. So that in itself is a miscategorization by trying to label it a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you want to call it they don't call the flu shot a flu vaccine. The flu shot is basically a booster shot to help boost your immune system so that you can better and more effectively fight off the flu vaccine.
Yeah.
Yes, by yourself. So if they called it a COVID shot, which they would never do because it sounds bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's marketing for you. How do you build trust in a product that doesn't do what it's supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
obviously they found a way.
Oh yeah.
And they have the strong arm to be able to do that.
Who are we talking about, Jackson?
Well, you've got the government working with.
Who's pushing the government?
What do you mean?
Who's pushing the government to push the vaccines? Who's funding the politicians? It's not the American
lobbyists or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
I was looking for.
Ding,
ding.
Ding.
What's he looking for here?
No, I'm not trying to steer you.
No. I got you.
I was trying to get you to see the. Again, we talked about this before, and you're really good at this all the time anyway. You would have gotten there way faster if I hadn't been poking you.
I was like, what?
I wasn't trying to push you that hard in that direction.
I'm an overthinker at heart.
But
so I'm like, what?
But the big picture, large scheme picture, big pharma, and right now most prominently, which would be Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson, by the way, is a traditional type vaccine, not the mRNA style, not the new extremely experimental,
So they have
untested, unproven.
So they have a COVID vaccine out.
Yes,
Johnson
Johnson & Johnson. I don't know if they got FDA emergency use
But it's not an
authorization
mRNA.
yet. No, it is not. And it's supposed to just be one shot, not the two that the Pfizer and Moderna are. Which, by the way, they're saying that you probably are going to have a booster shot, even if you get one, the full vaccine. You're going to have to get a booster shot every year for COVID. And
Really?
again, who funds the politicians' campaigns? So you have lobbyists, but you also have donors. We touched extremely briefly on this, but
which gets dangerous.
You have the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is headed and funded primarily by a multi-billionaire, Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm.
And then in addition to that, you have big pharma companies that are pushing their new products because new products cost money. The Pfizer and Moderna both got government contracts, guaranteed money, to fill orders for their vaccine. And in addition to that, you have all of these big pharmaceutical companies that have been developing the coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine. All of them have zero liability for any of the long-term effects from COVID.
Really?
Which means that if there are any long-term effects, SOL. So again, you get, they call it a jab now, not a shot, because saying the word shot is scary and frightening. So it's a jab. So they want to get as many vaccines into the arms of Americans as possible. You will not hear them say shot. They will not say vaccine shot. And this is marketing.
Yeah.
It's pure and simple, because they've
softened
over the last,
it.
Again, we are, just to fill in the timeline for those of you listening, when we recorded this, we have just passed the 1 year mark of the 14 days of flattening the curve. And we might get some of our freedoms back. And you know what? At most of the place, again, I've been working and playing music through the vast majority of this. I think the longest I was at home was 7 weeks, 7 to 9 weeks, where I didn't have any shows at all, where the hysteria was at its
more early
peak.
on.
Yeah. And after that, I mean, again, the Velcro Pygmies now are scheduled. We're back to wide open, normal playing. And that's because we play primarily in the Southeast, which I'm sure there are people up north, and there are a lot of liberals, and I'm not going to judge you for this, but you're going to look down here and say that we're irresponsible assholes. And I'm just going to say, you know what? This is America. Sorry. Your feelings don't affect me. And they keep telling us to trust the science, but they're only giving one side of the science, and people will say, well, there's only one side of the science. I was like, well, it depends on how you interpret the data of the science.
It's just like, I mean, like how do multiple scientists come to different conclusions?
Exactly. Different studies find different things, and there has not been enough studies done. There's not been enough, and this Dr. Fauci says this constantly in almost every interview. He says, we don't have enough data to talk about like long-term effects or the efficacy or blah, 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 blah.
Really?
Yes, he says this all the time. Several interviews. And by the way, nobody talks about this, but Dr. Fauci was the one that was heading up the AIDS recovery, AIDS cure research.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. And he's the one responsible for using a defunct cancer drug. I think it was XZ. It's three letters, but there's some cancer drug similar to chemotherapy, but he ended up killing a bunch of people that had AIDS already with this new FDA approved treatment.
So he's got blood on his hands in a way?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And he's going to have more. And I'm curious to see just how far the government and then the news media outlets and, mom and pop liberal are going to push the issue on Americans being vaccinated, because they keep saying that it's like 50 something% of the Trump supporters, so like conservatives only,
Mhm.
only conservatives that are like saying that they're not going to get the vaccine or they're not going to do this and they're not going to do that. And I keep going back, and I had this conversation with you guys earlier in the room, is, you know, I don't have to explain myself to you, but to get somebody off my back, I will straight up just go, well, I am willing to consider getting the vaccine once it's FDA approved. And the argument is, and the narrative is in the media, and again, this is marketing 101, it's safe. It is safe. It is safe. Well, if it is truly safe, then the FDA would have approved it.
Right.
So
At least.
yes, but they haven't approved it. It has emergency use authorization only,
well,
which does not mean the same thing is safe.
To think about it, you know, with COVID being the issue, basically.
Yeah, the only issue right now.
You're telling me we couldn't push that through?
Mm-hmm.
If it were to, like, it is not approved. It's not that it's waiting. Yep. It is not approved.
Not yet. They say it may be, but there's not the reason, and this is Fauci again, Dr. Fauci, America's #1 virologist and epidemiologist. I swear the guy he has no clue what's going on anymore.
Self-proclaimed or what?
He knows how to sell stock in Moderna, and Pfizer is what he knows how to do.
Right.
But
get them pockets lined.
Dude, he's loaded. To think he's not loaded, oh my God.
Well, and this
he owns. I would love to see his stock portfolio.
Well, I would also like to see him pre-COVID too. I mean, no, he's loaded then, but I mean, but now you know he's fucking got a boost. This was his moment.
Well, I mean, again, there's no money for big pharma, and this goes back to the whole marketing side of this. Like the reason that big pharma keeps pushing that, like hydroxychloroquine doesn't work. Which, if you check South African numbers of COVID-related deaths. Not cases.
They're using it there.
Deaths. Yeah. It's an anti-malarial drug.
Yeah.
That's their Sunday pill. They take, like most of the population there, they take it weekly.
So it's in their
system.
system.
And there are far fewer deaths from COVID-related issues.
Really?
And I'm saying, even comorbidities, far fewer per capita than America. What? They take it almost weekly.
With hydroxychloroquine, what gets me is the immediate, like when anything is immediately shut down like that, it's immediately like, nope. Well, we figured that out. It's almost like because of the weight of that drug, what it could do, it really makes me curious. And when people shoot that solution down so quickly.
Well, this goes back,
and we're not interested in exploring it more.
Well, I'm not interested in your science. I'm interested in my science.
Exactly.
You see, and that's the problem is
Bill Nye, the science guy. Little humor there.
Also, not a fucking scientist, by the way. Bill Nye is a complete fraud, which blew my mind. I watched him when I was a kid.
Dude,
I love Bill Nye.
I've got a lab coat over there.
Yeah. You want to be Bill? Oh, dude. Oh, okay, coming soon in a future episode of Brain Snacks with Jaxon and Max. We will become
Brain Nye, the science Jax Max.
Yes, we'll go with that. That's a great name.
That's a deep
It rolls
fake.
off the tongue perfectly.
All right, working next on a Bill Nye the Science Guy deep fake, but it's gonna be us.
Not exactly a deep fake.
No, because we're not inside.
Psych. Oh, we're gonna be inside.
Why'd I look at Dustin? Dustin's so comfortable. I'm sorry, man.
Yes, but here's the problem.
That scares me more.
The reason that Big Pharma and again, Big Pharma has a lot to do with the FDA, which is why the FDA approved emergency use authorization only and didn't approve the actual vaccine.
We are Pharma.
That's funny. That's a good one. I like that. That needs to be a sound clip. Somebody clip that in post. But they have so much influence and so much control over the FDA that they were able to squash not just hydroxychloroquine, but also ivermectin, which so for those of you not familiar, you don't have pets, or you weren't raised in a barn. No, this seriously, ivermectin is actually a heartworm medication for most animals, but it is used in widely used in across the globe for humans, for people, and it has been studied and proven to actually prevent and treat COVID. And there was maybe in the show notes, when you guys edit this down, we'll send you a link to the video. We'll link it in the show notes. There was a group of doctors, all accredited, very highly respected, that testified in front of a Senate grand jury that was not televised outside of C-SPAN, wasn't reported on at all. Doctor got up in front of a congressional panel, Senate panel, and stated, if you take ivermectin, you will not get COVID. Like, he flat out said, this is what the data shows.
100% he said that.
Yes. And he said,
not word for word, but that's what he said.
He said if you take
it.
ivermectin, you will not get COVID. He said those exact words. That is a direct quote. I'm 90% sure on it.
Actually, I just want to be sure because I know I'm with you. But
Chrissy has the video, so she can send it to me too. But
we may put it up.
But this was like this group of doctors. Their sole purpose was researching how to repurpose already existing drugs. Now, here's the
makes a lot of sense to me.
Here's the funny thing and the up thing about capitalism. And again, I love being an American. I love living in a capitalist society because it gives us
opportunity after opportunity.
I'm not saying that we're going to make a lot of money or any money doing this, but hey, if we do, that's capitalism.
Yep.
Supply, demand. People like the product. They want to spend money on the product.
Yep.
That's how capitalism is supposed to work. Well, when you can't make money. Cronyism. Thank you, wife. Way to come in with that one. My wife, yeah, she needs to be a guest on the podcast someday soon. Next time we record, you're getting in on camera.
Make sure you're ready. Actually get in right now because you'd be a far better conversation about this. I'm saying with this topic, you would be.
Yeah. Well, again, you understand the marketing aspect of this too, and this is what it all boils down to is. They had to control the narrative.
It's so slick, though. It's so slick and so well done because you have, like I said, you have the strong arm of the government, and to be able to use
you have your
these
scientists,
trusted as foundations of trust that we have within society to be able to push this.
Yeah,
and people cling to that media too, like their media outlets as well. They cling to that as a way of trusting. So and the way it's done is it's hard to detect if you're not really thinking about it.
Yeah.
Especially when any doubt results in you being conspiracy theorists, which we'll get into that later too. But
there'll be a whole season based on conspiracies, and I guarantee you we'll get into the COVID-19. And I'm not gonna call it a pandemic because that's suggesting that it didn't exist. Now, to say that it wasn't completely planned, or at the very least taken advantage of by the politicians, I will say very least. Again, it was a giant power grab, in my opinion, by world leaders the world over, not just America. Like everybody thinks it's so bad in America. It's like we're actually, because we have guns, which good luck keeping your Second Amendment right now, but we will. But other countries that don't have any rights, like gun rights, talk to Australia about their restrictions and lockdowns. Talk to England about their lockdowns and restrictions. They are all going back into almost full lockdown over like a dozen cases, not deaths, cases. And I stay apprised of the whole COVID. I'm not going to call it a conspiracy. I've been staying apprised of the entire COVID situation.
I wasn't saying that I was going different. I was saying if like the way it's perceived is if you have doubts about the virus that you're doubting, like you said, that it existed.
Yeah.
Not, don't conflate that with me having a doubt about the way it's been handled and the way it's been pushed to us.
Okay.
That's what I was saying when it comes to conspiracy.
Oh, I got the clarification.
I'm saying that's the left's response.
Yeah.
If you want to make it a right left
thing, you're a COVID denier.
There's a huge ass red flag right there. Mm. Why does a global pandemic turn into a left right issue?
Oh, but that's Because if you don't make it a political issue, then you can't divide the country.
And you can't, yeah.
So you gotta, if you're not waving your flag, your team's flag, then we don't know who to shoot at the end of the day. I mean, that's what it boils down to, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that this is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're saying this is how it is. What's that, woman?
Don't let a good crisis go to waste.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
The wife. It was an actual politician that said that. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. Thank you for that tidbit, wife. That titbit? Yeah, we'll go with titbit. She's a hot lady. I can say titbit.
Fitbit. What?
She's a fit titbit. Ooh.
Sponsor is Fitbit. How many steps should I get
I'm still waiting on a Fitbit or an Apple Watch.
Mary Sue got any more steps than me today.
Brain Snacks exercise video coming soon.
Oh my God, Jazzercise.
Sponsored by Fitbit.
Jazzercise. We gotta get the jumpsuits
Yes.
and the leg warmers.
Oh, please.
We'll hit up
please.
Cam for the leg warmers.
Oh yeah, and the super short shorts. I'm going full Richard Simmons.
Why? Okay. Why haven't the Pygmies? Why haven't the Pygmies done a Jazzercise video?
Because nobody listens to me and the Pygmies. One of the first ideas I had was sweating to the Pygmies. Like, let's do that.
Oh my God.
Like, how is this not a video yet? I'm just saying.
Please.
That would sell like
For the
you
love
put
of
that,
humanity, do it.
You put that on an OnlyFans page. You put that on an OnlyFans page. I guarantee you, we would make a couple grand within the first week. Guaranteed.
That's small changing.
Look, I lowball. If
Local
you set the bar low.
Cover band does a Jazzercise video on OnlyFans, becomes viral sensation.
Boom. Yeah, but nobody listens to me. This is my creative outlet.
Yeah.
Outside of playing acoustic with my wife and actually performing live.
Right.
But again, there's only so much I can throw into all those other things. And this again is a way for myself and you, should you feel the need to actually have a verbal opinion.
Yeah.
Without feeling the need to really cover it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm
working on that.
Yeah. And you've, again,
I'm working on that.
I've seen, again, the previous 4 recordings that we've done, like you have just blossomed. It's
I'm
like
working on
my little
blossoming.
boy's all grown up.
I'm opening up like a flower. My mom's so disappointed in me.
My mother's got some things to say, I'm sure.
It's
And
okay. It's cool.
Look,
Love you, Mom.
well, my mother and my father raised me to be an independent thinker, for the most part, anyway. But yeah. So, pharma, big pharma. There's no money in drugs that have existed for like 50 plus years. They're cheap.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah.
Readily distributed.
No, that over there. No. Look at this. Look at this. Johnny.
Exactly. But also, there's no money. There's money in new products. So there's money in research and development and the application of new cutting edge drugs.
And you should trust us about this.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, the government knows what's best for us.
They know what's best for me, dude.
Right? No.
For sure.
No. Yeah, no.
State, local, the whole nine, dude. George Soros all the way, dude. George Soros 2024. And George knows what's best for me. And
what?
Just, if you don't know who George Soros is.
No, I know who George Soros is.
I know you do.
Like,
I know you do. I'm talking to the people at home.
God damn it, man.
I'm not even going to say it.
Do you want to catch a bullet?
Just look it up.
Might as well start talking about the Clintons.
Dude, so yeah, so this is a story. This is a story about how we died of natural causes 2 weeks from now.
I committed suicide by shooting myself in the back of the head 37 times. Like, really, that's the kind of suicide story that'll be aired about me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, please no. No. But again, going back to controlling the narrative, but in the way that Big Pharma has so much influence in the United States, not just in government, but in government branches. And also, again, the Food and Drug Administration, so the FDA. So you get the FDA to say, no, we can't use ivermectin, or you can't use hydroxychloroquine.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't use these, again, whether they are useful at preventing or treating COVID or not, let's say for argument's sake that there's no empirical evidence that either work. Bullshit, there is. But let's say
Yeah.
that there isn't. Well, the same companies that are hawking this brand new mRNA vaccine or Johnson & Johnson's more traditional vaccine, which doesn't actually prevent a disease or a virus, which is oxymoronic for a vaccine, again, it's common core math at this point. It doesn't add up.
Doesn't make sense.
Right? Sorry, all those people that got triggered by common core, but I'm sorry.
Smells.
Oh, that is me. Sorry.
Oh no.
I'm full of it, man.
Oh, dude.
All the liberals,
Sneaking.
all the liberals think I'm full of shit right now. And again, I don't care if
It's
you're
cool.
a liberal or not. I care.
cool.
I care about people being a free thinker.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not solely a conservative. I'm not solely a liberal. Like I see good things on both sides of the aisle. And if you can't see good things on either side of the political spectrum, then you have blinders on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Hopefully one day, take the blinders off and you can see a little bit more of the world. And, maybe
Not
that helps
much.
change your worldview.
Yeah. Not
For the
much. Not much separates the two as far as what we want.
No.
We all want the same shit. It's just it's our priority.
It's not what we want that divides the political spectrum. It's what the
They
people
want.
in power
Yep.
want. And
That's
that's
what
what
they
they want is just more control.
Yeah.
And how do you control the population? Well, you keep them fighting with each other.
Yep.
And again, it's like this is textbook color revolution right here. And you can look up the term color revolution at home. I don't want to go into that right now. That'd be a whole other episode of conspiracy theory. But this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is pharmaceutical companies hawking a new unproven vaccine that, again, they've already said that it won't prevent you from getting COVID, that you can still spread COVID after you get the vaccine, which, again, oxymoron. It makes
This is
zero sense.
so the Johnson & Johnson is a vaccine.
Yes.
Okay.
Supposedly.
I just want to be clear about that.
Again, supposedly. But
Apparently.
also, coronavirus is a wild virus. Like common cold is a variation of a coronavirus.
Yeah.
There's no way to say that you're gonna absolutely be able to crush and kill the coronavirus.
No. Yeah. No. I'm just saying, like, it's.
But they keep.
I just wanted to make that distinction.
But they keep portraying it as that rather than calling it a shot or a prophylactic agent.
booster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of saying things like that, they are insisting on calling it a vaccine, which again, it's not. But now they're slowly changing the definition of vaccine.
And they're warping your perspective.
Yes. Big Pharma has been marketing the ever-loving shit out of their vaccines for so long. And this started April, maybe March or April of last year, when they finally shut down pretty much the world due to COVID.
Mhm.
That was when pharmaceutical companies started pumping all of the news media outlets into talking about vaccines. And it got to the point where people were demanding a vaccine.
Right.
And what do our political leaders do? Vaccine's coming. Vaccine's coming. Everybody, come get your vaccine. Hey, we'll have it out before. And even, again,
Last year,
this is one of the big points that I will disagree with Trump on every goddamn time. Like, the idiot started talking about the vaccine. Like, I wish he would have held his ground and said, no, hydroxychloroquine. If he'd have stuck with that, I think he would have actually done a little bit better for the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I'm not saying don't get the vaccine. If you believe the vaccine works,
but
believe what you want.
But
the vaccine is not, it's proven to not prevent you from getting it or spreading it.
Mhm.
So there's no guarantee that you won't die from the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Any person under the age of 65 has a 99.9% chance of surviving. 65 and up, it's a 95% chance of surviving.
Right.
Again, what are the odds of me getting in a car accident in my 10-hour drive to Texas?
Far
which we
greater.
do. Again, and that's one way. I'm doing that 2-3 times, a month. So
That's a perceived problem.
This is
that's a perceived problem that they have a solution for.
This is fear porn
Mm-hmm.
that the
Oh,
media
God,
has
yes.
been pushing on us for added control, and also to create a need. So when you're marketing a new product, and we talked about this very briefly in the first taping today, which is in a previous episode for those, whatever. Go back and
Watch it for yourself.
Go fight it yourself. I don't give a shit. It's gangster. No, the core concept of marketing is creating a perceived fix to a problem. Well, first you have to have a problem. Well, what's the problem? Well, COVID-19 has got to be your problem now. Well, look at it. You remember when COVID-19 first came out? This is the greatest example of pure, unadulterated propaganda that no major news media outlet has reported on since. Back in February and March of 2020, TikTok videos coming out of China. And I'm not talking I'm not talking smack on Chinese citizens.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Chinese Communist Party.
Okay.
There were TikTok videos coming out of China, people falling dead in the streets, falling dead in streetcars, people being welded into their homes because they had COVID.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you guys remember that? When's the last time they aired any of that? When's the last time you remember in the last year? When's the last time you saw anything like that? Do you see any of that in the streets? Do you see any of that in America? They created such a fear and a panic that they shut down the entire world economy by posting videos to TikTok, an application that they control. Now, that's not even Big Pharma. That's just another country using propaganda. Yeah. This is social media influencers to the next level. China wins the propaganda war. They convinced the entire world that this was effectively crushing the U.S. economy, which was the only economy that could compete with China. And then you have the big pharmaceutical companies going, oh, look at this shiny new problem. Well, we can't have anything that's already exists take care of this. No.
This is going to require something far, far greater.
We need to fund some research. Here comes the government grant. Here comes the government grant.
Together.
And who's
this?
Well, who's approving the government grants? Government. Yeah. So you have these politicians that have been taking kickbacks and campaign donations from big pharmaceutical companies for how many years?
Now it's time for you to scratch my back.
Pay the piper. And then in the new world media that we have, that's been just developing and exploding and has exploded exponentially since COVID and the lockdown, is streaming. So what happens when people are streaming more of their media and not watching it live on cable news? Well, your ad revenue goes down because you don't have the same amount of viewers. You have less viewers, which means you have less exposure to the product. So how...
Do you have less viewers with streaming?
Oh, you have more viewers as a streaming company.
We have less viewers on the cable networks.
Less live viewers on cable.
People are turning to alternative media. People are turning to different sources.
So how do these news media outlets stay afloat?
We talked about it earlier. You know what
so
it is.
Big Pharma comes in and says, hey, I've got all these shiny new pills that these people need to ask their doctors about. This is America now. This isn't other countries. I think America is one of the only countries that allows the pharmaceutical industry, to actively advertise to...
Did we fact check that earlier?
Potential patients. I was looking it up. I never finished it. I'm
one of the few. I just want to be clear for everybody.
Okay. I'm not gonna say the only one. I'll correct that and say they're one of the very few.
Yeah.
I know in England...
I'm with you.
I know in England, probably most of the EU, the European Union, I know most of them probably don't allow pharmaceutical industry to actively advertise to potential customers. And I'm gonna go ahead and not say customers. We're not customers anymore. We're users. We're all junkies. We're users.
Yep.
Because they've created such a need with the fear porn. And I say they created the need. Big Pharma created the need because they start spending all this fucking money funding. Let's go. I'll start just to make the liberals happy. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, All the major news outlets, CBS, MSNBC. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. All the major networks.
Mm-hmm.
You can't watch any of those news outlets
without seeing.
Without
ask your doctor about Lynn's ass.
Every other ad is about a new drug treating something that's minor inconvenience in your life. I'm not talking about Crohn's disease or some other thing. Like there are some legitimate medications that could be extremely useful, but why the fuck would you need to ask your doctor about blah 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 being right for you? If your doctor, and I'm not gonna,
if it's a drug,
the American healthcare, the state of the American healthcare system is again. That's a like 10-hour fucking long episode series if we wanted to get into that bullshit.
If it's a drug that treats a serious problem, your doctor fucking knows about it, and he's going to ask you about it or prescribe you said drug.
Or recommend said drug while explaining to you the significant side effects.
Right. And if it's some over-the-counter shit to treat minor problems, then
boom.
How about we just say, here's where you buy it. And here's how much it costs.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're trying to make a buck. There's nothing wrong with that shit.
And again, it's
the way you're putting it out.
Yes. But they created, because the pharmaceutical company.
I like my slime honest.
Yes.
All right.
If you're going to be, at least be upfront if you're going to focus.
Dude, I want to watch you stick it in. Hey, man, are you in yet? All right,
let's spit on it first. Come on, man. Don't slide it in dry.
I'll go back to earlier. It's the biggest 2 inches I ever felt.
We need some Biden clips. Come on, man. Are you in yet? Come on, man. Oh, huge, and a couple of Trump huges. Huge. Come on, man. Huge. The greatest. Yes. Huge. Yes. Yes. Okay.
All right.
But back
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yes.
Ask your doctor about cocaine.
Ask your doctor about cocaine.
Fuck, man. That other shit, I don't want that original rock, dude.
Yeah, I like old Coke because it's just better.
Fuck that new Coke.
It had a little
was
bit
it new Coke or is it new Pepsi?
It was new Coke.
Oh my god.
That's why Coca-Cola Classic tastes like old Coke, but it's not. Not that I would know. I wasn't around for that.
I do like the Mountain Dew. The old Mountain Dew is super sugary.
Well, I mean, it's like 10 pounds of sugar per
you know.
Diabetes. Ask me about
Sugar's
diabetes.
bad for your brain.
So you have these media companies that are now, they're losing massive viewership to streaming services now, right? And then alternative media. So you have YouTube, you have Facebook, all this. Brain Snacks podcast.
We're
not affiliated. Brain Snacks podcast, not affiliated with any major network.
With the major outlets being as full of shit as they are, they're equally, if not more, full of shit than we are.
Well, again, if
I mean, really,
if you were the director, and again,
we take a nugget of shit and we make it
without going into sexy time. We're gonna role play real quick. I'm gonna give you a scenario. You are an executive for CNN in charge of marketing.
I'm interested.
I'm a pharmaceutical representative. So, Mr. Jackson, I see that your numbers are way down and your cost of operating is way up because they have to keep up the graphics, right?
Tis true.
Yes? Okay.
Tis true.
So you have to keep the production value up, otherwise you'll lose even more viewership.
We gotta keep our.
We gotta be 4K. We gotta be 8K. We gotta be 6K. Whatever. 4K.
We gotta be able to afford Andrew.
The forkers.
You're right. We do gotta be able to afford Andrew.
So I have a proposal. Here's a large stack of money for the advertising revenue. You're going to air no less than 10 of our ads per hour for this specific brand of medicine.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, anything negative that you have to say about our brand on air will be edited down and cut.
Well, since I care about the health of my viewers so much,
why are you trying to sound like Batman?
I
feel like you're trying to do like channel Batman right now. Are you trying to do Batman? Like I'm talking Christian Bale.
No.
Batman.
No.
This is just how you talk.
This is how I do. This is me. I'm an executive.
Executive Jackson talks like Batman. Okay.
Hey man, give me my whiskey and my cigar, please. We're doing a deal.
So we have a deal, sir.
We have a deal.
Okay. So
See
interesting.
how easy that was, motherfucker?
But again, if
You see how I spun it too? Because it said I care about the health of my viewers.
if operating costs,
Win-win.
yes,
Win-win for
but
me.
operating costs your primary concern. You don't give the actual issues
Exactly.
or actually informing people, like giving people true, honest information. You are more concerned with your bottom line, and that. How do you do that? You keep your
eyes on-
advertisers happy is how you do it.
Yeah.
That, and again, the second you air something that I don't agree with, and you can again, I'll reference this show again just so that you guys at home can maybe be a little bit better informed, and that we don't actually have to do the research because they are so much better at it than we are, and we're also again millennial, and then Gen Zer, we're lazy. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm lazy.
Yeah, we're lazy.
Lazy
Brain
club,
snacks.
bitch.
What, bitch? We'll start doing upspeak, and we'll just be a new age.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another show that you guys can check out. That they do a great job of. I'm going to go with media assassination. They actually do a great breakdown of the media's biases, but not also biases, but contradictions. It's a show called No Agenda. You can find it on all the podcast apps. No Agenda.
As many times we mentioned them, they're gonna pay us.
No, they. You know what? If they gave us a plug on their show, I guarantee you we would probably have a 10,000 person viewership jump in like a week, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But no Agenda podcast with Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak, fantastic quality show about the manipulation of that the media does. But not only that, their bias, and then they do breakdowns and how they use disinformation in a way that sounds really, really true.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic show, and they really show the bias, not just the bias in the media, but the lies.
Mm-hmm.
But you have these pharmaceutical companies that now are controlling a lot of the narrative for all these major news outlets. And then you have, just as an example, you have a president. Let's say his name is Scrump. President Scrump wants to go ahead and cut cost for pharmaceutical, like drugs.
Yeah.
So let's say we take insulin. We're going to slash the price to, was like $5 a shot versus the $150 it was. And how many people in the United States have diabetes and need insulin? Lots.
A lot.
Lots. Because Americans, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this offends you, but we're unhealthy, fat, lazy pieces of shit. And that is partially our fault, but also we are extremely underinformed on what an actual healthy diet is. And again, I'm as guilty as anybody else because I've got my mother peanut butter M&Ms right here.
I mean,
they are never far from me.
We're up in this bitch.
Again, this is not a judgment thing on American citizens.
Shut
I'm just
up.
saying,
You know you're judges.
yeah, I am judgy as fuck. But I'm saying that you have a president that's love him or hate him. The man cut prices on life-saving drugs. Okay, literally insulin saves
You cannot argue with
lives.
that. You can't argue with that.
EpiPens. Slash the price of EpiPens. So you have a president that's actually going against the grain and poking Big Pharma in the eye and offering resolutions and fixes to a broken healthcare system that people say that, he was going to cancel Obamacare. It was like, well, he kind of reorganized it and whatever. And maybe he didn't really change a whole lot except taking away the mandate, which was unconstitutional anyway. If you're an American citizen, the government can't tell you that you have to buy something and then tax the shit out of you for not having it. Not legal, not constitutional. Suck my dick.
You heard it here, motherfucker.
Yeah, but also, so you have this president poking Big Pharma in the eye, and then what happens? All the news media outlets, which already hated him, but now they just start attacking, and
I wonder why.
They had Moderna. Actually, they had proof of the efficacy, quote unquote. Again, I still don't think their vaccine's worth it, but they had proof of the efficacy of the vaccine a week before November 4th, which is election day in the United States, by the way. They didn't release the information about the vaccine being ready until after election day because they thought that it would influence the election. That is marketing manipulation.
But there's no agenda here.
Finest.
There's no agenda here.
This is, and look, love or hate Scrumpf. And again, I don't have to say his name. We'll just say President. Let's say his name's Scrumpf. Like, love or hate
anybody.
Love or hate him, dude. Like,
let's say it's you. Say you're the president and you did what he did.
Well, first off, I don't tweet, so I think I'd have done a better job than he did in that regard. Right. I don't think I would have pissed off quite as many people.
Right.
But when you don't have a platform and other news media outlets refuse to air you or refuse to give you at least
you can understand why you would resort to Twitter.
Look, again, a half-hearted, unbiased interview. Like, you can be a little biased and be like, hey, no, seriously, you grabbed that girl by the
right after
like that's like you said it. Defend yourself. That's a part, like, it's truth and partially biased
it's
at the same
hey,
time.
Man, I'm with you. Like,
do that.
Do
that. But like, to everything he did was bad. Everything he did was bad. Well, you know what? The second that Joe Biden got in office, guess what he did? He pulled back all the tax reforms that Trump did, which means that everybody's going to pay a little bit more. Canceled a pipeline that cost hundreds of thousands of jobs in the American oil field for green new energy, which, again, we need to invest in, alternative sources of energy. Yes, I'm not going to say
But you should also research those forms of energy a little bit further because they're not as green as you may think.
Concur. I concur. So. But, and then, again...
Lithium-ion batteries, heard of them?
But this is how you control the narrative. If you control the money that's going to the news media outlets, then you can't talk bad about our products. And
money.
This president is talking.
We know money talks, right?
Yeah. This president's costing us tens of millions of dollars for like 2 drugs, and I think that was all it was
insulin and what?
Insulin and EpiPens. So epinephrine pens. But those are like super high dollar items. Like $150 a vial, I think, for insulin. And I think you get like 5 doses or 10 doses. I can't remember. I don't have diabetes, so I don't know.
And I mean, depending on your insurance,
but
that could really
EpiPens, I think, were like $500 to $1,000 a piece. Which my wife, if she got stung by a bee, she'll go into anaphylactic shock. We couldn't afford an EpiPen because they have a shelf life. So if we buy one and never use it, well, it's like that's a $1,000 investment gone. And I think it has like maybe a year or 2 year shelf life. So, I mean, again, he's poking Big Pharma in the eye, and then he gets hit on. And then Biden comes in, and everything that Trump did to really with Pharma is gone. Again, we don't have to talk about the other stuff that got switched up.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's not like kind of a showing your ass in a critical thinking mindset, like, you have to at least go, Biden didn't really have the American people best interest at heart.
And he didn't.
Regardless of what you think about politics,
he didn't waste any
making
time.
drug prices that are essential for people that have diabetes or have chronic allergies.
Making them lower. How does that hurt us? Who does that hurt?
That hurts somebody's pocketbook.
Where are your fucking interests, man?
It doesn't hurt the American citizen's pocketbook.
I mean, I'd like to think there's some gray area here, but at some point you just call a spade a spade. I'm serious. Like, I mean, and like you said, with looking at it from a merely critical thinking perspective, that's all we're doing here. That's all we're doing here.
Again,
I'm not getting any money from the RNC, or I'm not. If
we were getting paid, guess what? We would have a nicer studio.
You know why?
And my boys over here would have some very choice cameras.
Dude, you learned a long time ago, man. If you can't beat them, join them.
I'm thinking a couple reds, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that was the magic word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What company makes red? Komodo. It was Komodo red, but yeah, I got red 6K cameras.
Red.
Don't even country that up. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, again, this is marketing. This is marketing in the media, but this is just Big Pharma's marketing.
Yeah.
This isn't This isn't Coca-Cola's marketing. You know, and like every brand has their in a market. But when you have the pharmaceutical industry just in 2020, they had a growth of like 10% in advertising. Like, why? Oh, because people in America were stuck in their homes for a year, and everybody's getting sick because you're told you shouldn't go outside because you're gonna die. Even though there's a 99% survival rate.
There's something I haven't done a ton of research. You may know, like the companies that are making the test vials and like there's only a few methods that they can actually like a few containers that the test can go in to be sent off. I think this might have been a little bit earlier on before the rapid test thing. Which I mean, the accuracy of the rapid tests. I mean, I'm not really sure how accurate those are, but or the tests in general. I'm curious is I would be curious to know if it's public information how much money those companies have like what I know they're probably lobbying, but who are they lobbying and how much? I just wonder because there's a lot of money to be made there because if you're a manufacturer of this type of a container and there's only a handful of types that we accept, I mean, I just feel like you want to keep making money.
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say
it could be completely left field. I just thought about that.
Well, who stands to make the most amount of money from a global pandemic? And again, this goes outside of the marketing aspect of it, and this goes into more the geopolitical spectrum / maybe conspiracy, but I think it's pertinent to the conversation since we're talking about COVID a little bit about in this marketing segment. Who stands to make the most profit from, like, again, this global pandemic? Would it be, I don't know, the number one textile exporter in the world? China?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least in the United States, Australia, and a couple other countries. But surely people have noticed that almost every mask packaging on the planet, since you have to wear a mask everywhere, you're supposed to, or you're trying to kill somebody. But now you don't wear one mask, not two masks, but three. Three masks is what they're saying they want. Fauci said this a couple times. And that's funny because there's like no mask mandate in half the country now. Or I wish it was half the country. It feels like half the country because I don't travel to the other half that sucks. But
it's like a fourth.
You look on the packaging for all the PPP.
It is.
The PPE. Personal protective equipment. People that don't know what PPE is, I'm sure you do now because you've lived in the time of COVID. But gloves, masks, face shields, all this crap is manufactured, packaged, and shipped from China.
You guessed it.
Well, the vast majority of it. I'm sure there are some.
Early on, I think we were making a lot of it.
We had to make a lot of it, right. But we can't make it as cheap or as fast.
Right.
And if we're already getting the problem with a lot of the pharmaceuticals, the drugs that we use in the United States, and this goes again. This is where the geopolitical side of it and the conspiracy side of it and the marketing side of it all kind of coincide. And kind of make a valid point for like a pandemic style. And I'm not saying it is true. This is just, again, me connecting dots. Looking at a big picture, we were ordering a lot of our drugs from China.
Right.
So there was a shortage on drugs when the pandemic first hit because China wasn't shipping because the world was shut down.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so when the world opened back up, well, the pharmaceutical companies have to have contracts with all these companies that are manufacturing the drugs in China, right? Well, now China's supplying all the PPP or the PPE, or I'm not going to say all because there's no way that they're controlling the entire supply.
We wouldn't have it that way.
But they have a very large portion of that supply that they're doing.
Yeah.
So they're producing a large number of our drugs and pharmaceuticals. They're producing a large number of our PPE. And like now they're also supplying a large number of our let's see, camera equipment, lighting equipment, microphones.
Yep.
Like how much stuff in this, just in this office
Came from China.
came from China. Now, I'm more than happy to buy American made when we have enough manufacturing companies in the States to make it justifiable, to make it affordable.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough of a competitive market because we keep importing everything from China. When China can make it for pennies on the dollar, like it's hard to buy American made when you're a broke ass musician. And again, I would love to be 100% red, white, and blue through and through on everything I own. But, you know, I kind of like my Yugoslavian AK-74. Yeah. I would love to own an AR-15, but good luck, bad luck finding one right now.
Yeah.
But I think the people that did the best planning and marketing throughout this entire last year is China. And China has their hands in, they have their hands in Disney, which Disney Plus launched when?
2020.
Start of the pandemic.
When everybody's nice and cozy on the couch. Needing something to watch.
Again, I'm not saying that there are just a lot, and a lot of what happened because there's like supply and demand. Okay, well, there's this brand new audience. We have all these people stuck at home. They need something to do. Here's our ticket to easy money because now we have a captive audience. They can't go anywhere. They can't leave. Everybody's scared to die. So what do? Well, China has hands pocket deep in the NBA. China has hands pocket deep in Disney. China has hands deep in the pockets of pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-hmm.
And then by way around, through the pharmaceutical companies, now they have hands in the pockets of politicians.
Yep.
And these politicians now are telling us that we can't do this, this, and this, and this. We can't have our freedom in the freest country in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, vaccine cards are coming. They're already here, but I'm talking like travel. Vaccine cards.
For you to be able to really see, because you
were talking about
we're talking about going to Brazil.
Yeah, we were talking about this. This was off camera, but you were talking about taking a trip to Brazil.
Yeah.
Got real bad news for you. If you're not planning on getting a vaccine, you may not be allowed in.
Right.
I
kind of knew. I kind of figured that.
Our friendly and peaceful Canadian neighbors in the north, you can't go in. Like, borders are closed in Canada. American citizens are not allowed unless you have special permission and a vaccine. Or,
hey, careful! You're calling it a vaccine.
Oh, that's what they call it. I'm not saying prove it.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying, like, careful, because it's not even really.
No, it's not. It's not really a vaccine.
Working.
But if you don't have the vaccine card, how's that?
Yeah.
If you don't have your vaccine, your proof of vaccination.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah. No, but that's play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that if I were to fly into Canada today, let's say I try to fly into Toronto, I get off the plane, I will be mandatorily put into a hotel room for isolation. There's actually COVID hotels.
Mm-hmm.
I will be put into isolation on my dime for 14 days until I test negative twice. I don't have a vaccine.
Just to go to Toronto.
If I can even get off the plane. I may not even be able to get off the plane. They may just ship my ass back.
What about is there anything to get on the plane?
I have no idea. Not in-country flights in the United States, no. Nothing. There's no restriction. Because again, as ignorant, and I'm not going to say as ignorant, as blinded as the vast majority of American society is about the issues right now,
mm-hmm.
The government knows just how far to push and when to push.
Yeah.
So they just keep pushing. They keep pushing the Brain Snacks logo, just a little bit at a time, and you never notice it. So if I sat here for the last hour and just kept pushing this tiny bit more, and I'm talking like fractions of an inch,
until
it falls off the edge.
Yep.
And that's what the government's been doing with American society, liberals and conservatives both. Again, I'm not saying that one party is better than the other. I'm saying they're both kind of shit, and that the American people need to wake up and elect better officials with higher moral codes and standards.
Not just because they told you so.
To actually lead us. back to prosperity because we can't just spend ourselves into prosperity. That's not how, like, capitalism is supposed to work like that, but not when you just print fake money, fiat bull currency.
Yep.
Which, hey, I'll take the fiat currency. I still want to get paid,
But I still want my Biden bucks.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
But that's how you affect large change in a society that is resistant to change. So how do you do that? Well, I'm going to muzzle you.
Yep.
How do I muzzle you? Well, I'm just gonna give you a little push to say, you might die if you don't wear a mask. Oh, I got a
mask
wait,
up.
wait.
Yep. Dude, get that thing out of here, man.
No. I want to show this. I was coming back from Destin, which Florida is wide ass open. They don't give zero, or the governor doesn't anyway. They lifted all restrictions in Florida. Playing a show there Thursday and Friday. We were leaving to come back home Saturday before my show in Tuscaloosa, and I went into Starbucks maskless, and he told me I had to put this on.
In the drive-thru?
No. I went inside because the drive-thru line was way too long.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing about this mask. I'm pretty sure that if I wanted to spit in your eye right now, spit would get through this and hit you in the eye. Look at how thin this thing is.
So if I have,
See that?
I can see your.
It's like sheer stocking.
I can see your genius through that thing.
I don't know if the light's going to come through that. Let me see if I can get that on camera. You see that light coming through? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. This is the mask. This is the mask that they say is going to protect me from COVID.
And you can see that.
Look.
Can't see COVID.
I'm not saying that masks can't work. I'm not saying that masks can't be effective. I'm saying that this is a muzzle. That's all it is. It's a form of control. And again, I'm not saying don't wear a mask. If you're scared, wear a mask. If you think it works, wear a mask. But definitely don't wear this flimsy piece of shit and pretend like it's going to fucking save your life from a disease that has a 99.9% chance of not fucking killing you.
And use it as a pedestal to virtue signal while you're wearing said piece of mask.
Well, I think it's hilarious that the people, they'll start screaming at you for not wearing a mask, which hasn't really happened to me. Because normally if I'm not wearing a mask, I'm smiling. And people think I'm crazy. So I'm like, because they're not used to seeing people smile anymore.
Right.
So they've effectively, another form of control, they've desensitized you to emotions from faces. It's disturbing. But thankfully, a lot of America's...
Thankfully, you can say a lot with your eyes.
Well, I mean, I'm going to need you to screen capture that, and then I need a side-by-side with our eyes looking. Maybe top, just the eyes. Yeah, right there. That's a quality shot right there.
That was 6. I mean, that was eyes.
But again, this is the amount of...
I've had sex with a man today.
with our eyes.
It's fucking crazy, man.
But the amount the amount of manipulation and again, the genius marketing that was deployed. Because again, when COVID first struck, I saw the TikTok videos too, and I was sold. I was like, okay, maybe something to take serious. Like the last Ebola scare that was supposed to be the next pandemic.
You don't know yet.
I was just like, until I see a motherfucker die in the States, like on camera, like dying in the subway in New York City, I'll be like, I'm not really that worried about it. Ebola. When in fact, Ebola has a much higher mortality rate than, almost anything else on the planet.
Spontaneous combustion.
Well, I wish that some politicians would spontaneously combust. But,
dude.
And that is not an advocate for anybody to set a politician on fire. I do not support that. Everyone is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as long as they are not going to be a dictator.
Or a dick.
Or potato.
Mr. Potato Head got canceled.
Dictator. Yeah, that's cancel culture.
In other news, Mr. Potato Head's been canceled.
Breaking news.
Hey guys, we fixed all our problems. We just canceled Mr. Potato Head.
Because there are
You can sleep well at night now.
there are more important
He's
issues.
androgynous.
He is until I strap a mini dildo on him. Then he's Mr.
Was
Potato
he
Head
ever
again.
really a man? He just had a mustache. What the
he-
fuck? You ever
he-
appreciate a good mustache on a woman?
He identifies as an asexual, man.
You know,
Just
people-
don't
you know,
stop
people-
judging
people,
it, Potato Head.
Women back in the day used to rock mustache. Do you know? I mean, that's cool.
I mean,
It's pretty cool.
I'm good with it.
I'm saying I've never identified a sack on Mr. Potato Head. Just a male.
Maybe
large
it's an
nose.
internal, or maybe it was
Well,
an
I
optional.
mean-
Maybe it was an optional kit that we never got.
Kinda-
It was an expansion pack.
It was the Mr. Potato Head truck nuts. Hey, dude, you got truck nuts for your Mr. Potato
Oh,
Head?
dude. Okay. Here is a merch. Here is a merch
t-shirt
marketing
right there.
idea. Yes, that
Right
right there, Mr. Potato Head
With
truck nuts. Yeah, but also maybe we can 3D print a Mr. Potato Head truck nuts.
Please.
Okay. Again,
Dude,
our
3D
extremely-
print a Mr. Potato Head with a nutsack, please.
Oh Jesus!
I'm sure the file's already out there because it's like all the rage. So,
But
speaking of nutsacks,
the leading marketing plan this last year was definitely
I had nothing to do with nutsacks.
Pharma won it all. Pharma won it all.
Yep.
Pharmaceutical companies, again, I think they have their place. Obviously, there needs to be research, and as far as the CDC goes, and hunting down infectious diseases and a legit pandemic. Yeah, I think that there will be a legit deadly pandemic in probably our lifetime.
Something I want to talk about is something that nobody ever talks about, and it's like the most least bullshit approach to health in general. It's just we don't, as a country, we don't talk about wellness.
Mm.
Rarely we talk about wellness.
How often this last year has
And the mind and body connection and all that. We don't talk about wellness.
But how many times have you
Because
heard
wellness doesn't make a lot of money.
No.
Except, well, I mean, have you ever tried to buy groceries at Whole Foods? I
Well,
mean, yeah, they make it really fucking hard to be,
Well, you could
to eat real food, man.
technically, I mean, I could go to Walmart, buy all organic, and it would be just a hair more expensive than I would normally spend.
I mean, you don't have to even buy organic.
There-
but
Well, but there are healthier options. Now, here goes another marketing ploy, and how I perceive big pharma or pharmaceutical companies in general being able to control the narrative so well. Hey, why, in God's name, would you ever really advocate for a healthy population when your sole purpose as a business
I get it totally.
is to treat
I get it.
sick individuals?
I get it.
There's no money.
I get
in,
it too much.
There's no money in prevention. There's no money in curing.
No.
There's only money in treating.
Yep.
And the latest and most cutting edge treatment is always septuple the price, or 10 times, 20 times the price of the previous model.
And suddenly the Alaskan bush people have us.
I think I'd say they had us beat for a long time, because most of them never been on Facebook.
Yeah. And well, yeah.
No social media, no internet. And
I mean,
like,
how did we handle like disease? Like, I feel like at some point in U.S. history, we had a healthy amount of not eating TV dinners so much and fighting and letting our immune systems do more work.
well, I think there's a very good reason why.
Which now it's even better because because of the beautiful, awesome developments in technology that we have and medicine. If you combine that, like, as needed, in needed, truly needed, your body, you're listening to your body, you need it. You're listening to a doctor with a healthy amount of skepticism. You need the developments we have, but your primary goal is to be well.
Health. Health and wellness.
Like, it's honestly that simple.
Welcome to the Brain Snacks Health and Wellness class. We'll be your instructor today. Drink more water. Supplement with vitamin D3, vitamin C,
Open
and
the window.
zinc.
Open the window.
Get off your ass and
Get
go
some
for a
light.
walk. And maybe
Move
not
around.
eat McDonald's every day.
Move
Maybe
around.
every other day.
Hmm.
Damn.
Get up.
There's your public service announcement. You hear none of this.
Nope.
None of this
Nope.
in the media. For like,
It goes against
How
our
many-
biology, bro.
again, how many doctors, again, during the entire pandemic came out and said, you guys should be, while you're at home, while you're stuck at home, is a great opportunity for you to start drinking more water. You can control your diet easier while you're home because you don't have to worry about meal prepping so much and bringing it to work and then worrying about overheating it or having your coworker eating it in the fridge. Like, nobody advocated.
Definitely
definitely nobody.
a real opportunity to do better as
To affect
as a
change.
nation.
But why would you do that?
You wouldn't.
Because that goes against the profit margins of
The
the
premise
pharmaceutical
of the
companies, the
fucking-
people that are actually funding what? The clinical studies for all the drugs that
Yeah.
fix all the problems that they want.
That's why I have such a hard time going down the talk about it. Like I get it, but like I just like that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like I'm just at wellness. Like I get it. It's like it's sad. It's honestly sad.
Well, again,
It's a lot of fake,
And this isn't-
it's a lot of fake outrage and fake bullshit.
Yeah.
That you kind of have to just
well,
yeah.
I'm hoping
get it, but-
I'm hoping that this episode is not nearly as polarizing as it will probably be. That is not our. Again, we talked about this a lot. We don't want to stray too far into politics. We didn't want to stray at all into COVID. But at this point, like from what I've seen and what you've seen and what we've talked about, it's just like it felt like it was necessary since we were going to be talking about marketing.
Yeah.
And
it plays in
in the media.
perfectly.
Yeah.
This
And-
is a perfect moment to discuss
Yeah.
marketing in the media,
Yes. And
without a doubt.
but even just not just the marketing on like the news channels, like even the giant media buys on Facebook, the same news channels, they're spending the same money that Pharma spent on them for ad money. Well, CNN and Fox News and MSNBC and CBS, whatever, they're all spending that money on ad buys and Facebook bullshit, and then Twitter and Instagram. So you're still
And
getting the
until
same
enough
shit.
people
You're-
watch The Social Dilemma, they're not going to check out of that.
Please, guys,
Check out of it. Check out of it. You don't have to delete it. Just check out of it
Turn your notifications off and limit how often you click on the app.
be mindful of how you use social media.
Or better yet,
Please, for yourself.
just delete the apps and use the web-based browser. It will be so off-putting that you will never want to use social media again.
Yeah.
Or find a hobby that you genuinely really enjoy. Like when we're doing this, like typically I won't like over the course of an entire day. So we usually spend an entire day filming a few episodes. I may look at Facebook or Instagram twice total. And I'm talking like max time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes total throughout the course of the day.
There's nothing
Until you guys leave. And when you guys leave, after I get everything picked up,
you'll be on it.
I'll be on.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting on the couch with the wife and I'll zone out streaming something on Netflix or whatever. Netflix, you want to give us a special? I'm just saying. I've got a film crew ready to go. We can do it for a budget of about $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Topic of your choice where we can mock it.
Yep.
Just saying. They spend money on anything. So
They got it. It's chump change.
we reserve the right to brand it.
$100,000, dude. That ain't nothing.
I know. That's for them. Nothing.
It's nothing.
Nothing. I think we put out some quality content.
Yeah.
But
We wouldn't know what to do with that many doll hairs.
these cameras are Netflix approved.
Are they
Oh, because they're 4K? Well, I mean, that one's not shooting in 4K right now, but it can shoot in 4K. Come on, Canon.
And technically, you don't even have to use Netflix
Yeah.
approved cameras. They just have to fit certain specs.
Oh, we can upscale everything anyway, so we can shoot everything in 1080p and upscale to 4K. Fuck it. I mean, really, the techies at Netflix really going to know?
No.
Probably. but still.
I don't know.
Probably.
Man, I just want to put on a good show, man.
Well, I think this was a pretty productive episode. Is there anything else you want to talk about marketing in the media? We did stray pretty far from just marketing in the media, but I felt that again.
It was
I feel
good.
It was
good though.
A lot of it was connected.
Mm-hmm.
Again, especially
a lot of things in life are connected.
Especially the geopolitical side. Again,
a lot of things in life are connected.
If you're out there thinking that Russia is the greatest threat to American society as we know it, and not China, like this isn't conservative talk. This isn't Trump talking. Like Russia wasn't the ones that put out TikTok videos portraying this pandemic as being like a 80% mortality kind of thing. They weren't posting videos showing people dying, falling down dead, people being boarded up, welded into their homes. China was. And I'm sorry, like I don't think that the China people are bad people. I think it's the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the greatest threat to American society.
We wouldn't make a statement like that to say that the Chinese population is responsible necessarily.
Well, I don't want it to be taken out of context. I'm not saying it's China. The China virus. I'm saying
we are not fear mongering Asian people.
No.
Basically, that seems to be where they
I'll hug the fuck out of an Asian.
That's
just saying.
That seems to be where they want to go, where people want to go with it when you because that's like the easiest thing to be able to shut us down on that.
Yeah, racist. Yeah. Racist, or you're bigoted, or you're whatever. And it's like, look,
it's all right, what else?
Yeah, no. Why?
Yeah, like what else?
Why? No, again, we try, like, unless you're an absolute piece of shit, I think both of us will give you a shot.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, regardless of your age, race, cultural background, religious background, if you're a nice person, I mean, even if you're not, as long as you're not strictly a dick to us, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a live and let live philosophy. And if you guys can't get on board with that, then you're listening to the wrong podcast, because there's not much we can do unless you really want to actually expand your mind and listen to what we have to say. And it's not that we are not the end all be all.
No.
Again, we're both still learning as we go. And as this podcast evolves, hopefully you guys will evolve with us.
Like right now, like we're 2 of 4 people sitting in this room. They could get up here and do the same. They could talk. We just happen to be the ones doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't think they want to.
No, but
Dustin's gotten a little bit more comfortable.
No, but I'm just saying that's our mentality right there. That's us saying we're not the end all be all, because everybody's got unique perspective. But if you're not actively using your machinery, your body is I mean, anything you see in the world is made by someone or something. But
everyone has value.
But at the end of the day, everyone has value. But they do, because at the end of the day, the most complicated piece of machinery that's on the earth is you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Amen.
We're not perfect, but we're the most complicated.
You say you're not perfect, but
well, apparently Max is closer to perfect than most of us.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not God-like. I'm just like demigod-like.
You're not Kanye West.
No, I'm not. Kanye West, I wish I was. That dude has such a personality. Good for him.
Is he crazy or is he genius? Did we say we were going to talk about that one day? Well, I want to do a full Kanye special.
West.
A Kanye takeover, if you will.
Crazy or genius?
And
leave a comment if you want to see it. Whatever. Like and subscribe. That's what we do on YouTube, right? Like and subscribe, whatever. Shut up.
Yep.
No, if you're not subscribed already, why the fuck are you on my channel? How long is this episode going for? Yeah, you're an hour and 45 in and you haven't subscribed.
There's literally nothing else we could say.
How stoned are you, really? I mean, like, look, God love you, and so do we. Whoa, man.
Oh,
dude, this guy was talking about Mr. Potato Head truck balls. This podcast is dope.
These brazzleberries taste like brazzleberries.
Dude, those are my nuts.
Up yours, buddy. All right.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back with
Good
another
night, good morning.
another
Enjoy
fresh,
your day.
tasty
Enjoy
BS
your
jam before too long.
Neuroplasticity happens when you sleep.
So
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Any more words of wisdom to go out on? Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis. See you later.
I am the great Cornholio. Must have TP for my bunghole.
Oh yeah.
That was my closing.
Did you subscribe?